Rogue Lords is a dark fantasy roguelike game where you play as the devil. It's your job to guide your disciples through events and turn-based combat to reinstate your hold over the human world. Evil geniuses such as Dracula, the Headless Horseman, Bloody Mary, and more are at your service. Rogue Lords is currently available for PC through Steam and Epic Games for $24.99. The developers are also planning to release Rogue Lords for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch early in 2022. Rogue Lords really is a roguelike different from any I've played before, not only because of its concept, characters, and incredibly appealing art style, but because it takes a familiar formula and changes it enough to bring something that feels new and refreshing to the roguelike genre. Let's go over the game and I'll explain what I mean. In Rogue Lords, you control a party of 3 different disciples. It's your job to guide them through story events as well as turn-based combat against your enemies. Each character plays very different from one another, and they all have their own set of strengths and weaknesses. This, of course, meaning that different characters and different party combinations will require different strategies to play. Each character will always start with the same 3 initial skills. These skills will be upgraded or replaced with others as you go. I find it refreshing to know which skills I'll start with, that way I'm not relying on luck of the draw. I find this game to be much more focused on strategy than it is on luck. That's not to say that luck plays no part in this game, because it definitely does. However, it feels much less impactful than other games of this genre. Each character also comes with their own set of social skills, as well as relic unlockables which provide bonuses that are specific to that character. Once you've selected your party, it's time to begin your journey through the chapters of the storybook that you have chosen. Instead of a point-and-click map like most roguelikes I'm familiar with, Rogue Lords lets you navigate your character in a 3D space, even letting you choose which of your party you would like to control, which I found added a certain kind of charm for me. The game also gives you a standard type map in the corner that allows you to strategically plan your route. You will trigger zone effects during the game that can have both a positive and negative effect on your party. It definitely helps being able to consult the map and being able to strategically plan the path you'll take. Now let's talk about the combat and what really makes this game so different and really makes it shine. At the start of each combat encounter, you're able to choose your approach. This will determine the rewards you will receive after the fight. Terror effect increases your chances for higher rarity skills as well as gives you a relic. Choosing skill will give you a few different skill options to choose from, and souls can be spent at the Grim Reaper, where you can buy new or upgrade existing skills. At the beginning of each turn, your enemies announce the actions they are going to launch. You have 5 action points to share among your disciples in order to thwart their attack. Each skill will cost action points to play. Each will do different types of damage depending on the character or apply different types of buffs. Once you've used a skill, it is depleted until you can recharge it again. Each disciple possesses a recharge action that replenishes all their skills, and these vary greatly from character to character. Dracula, for example, can recharge the whole party and all of their skills with his recharge action. So again, you're much less relying on the luck of the draw, and more so strategically planning what skills to use when and how to keep your party strong and equipped during combat. It takes some time to get to know each character and how they should be played. All combatants have 2 gauges of health, one physical and one spiritual. You only need to get one of these bars down to 0, and then deal one last final blow to defeat your enemy while they're in a vulnerable state. Once you win combat, you'll be given a choice of rewards based on the approach that you chose. And don't forget, you are playing as the devil, and the devil has no problem cheating to win. If the odds aren't in your favor, use your devil powers and make it so that they are. This game wants you to cheat. In devil mode, you can modify health point and spirit point gauges, recharge skills, move statuses around, even open portals for yourself to skip unwanted sections on the map. There are a lot of different ways that you can use your devil powers. That said, it does cost essence, which can be seen in the top left corner of the screen. This can basically be seen as your overall health. If your essence runs out, you lose. However, there are fountains throughout the map that replenish bits of your essence. This requires you to be strategic about when and where you use your devil abilities, but it is incredibly satisfying to be able to cheat when the odds just aren't in your favor and when you've just been faced with some bad luck. Managing your skills in this game is a really important element of the gameplay. You will need to obtain the same type of skill 3 times in order to increase its rarity, and this is absolutely necessary to make sure your characters keep growing stronger. But that also means you have to manage with your limited number of skill slots. You have 7 slots total, 3 of which I believe are locked until you sacrifice a skill at the altar. You will obtain a new skill in its place for doing this, but you will never come across the skill you sacrificed again that run. But again, a sacrifice is necessary to open up more skill slots and make your character stronger. This can become a tricky thing to manage, but I do think it adds another layer of strategy to the game. You'll also come across story events in-game. Here, you'll have to choose one of your followers to represent your group. Their social skills will then be put to the test. At the top, you can see which characteristics you might encounter in this event, as well as your character's current combat and social stats, and the rewards you'll receive should you be successful in the test. I find these story events to be pretty enjoyable and really rewarding should you succeed. And once again, you are the devil, so you can make sure you succeed. So take that, RNGesus. Not today, buddy. Not today. Sometimes you'll even get a bonus reaction from one of the other disciples in your party. These can be both positive or negative. I personally really like doing these events for the story and for the bonuses, and sometimes you get really good bonuses that you weren't expecting. Also, negative trait effects can be purged later at Styx fountains instead of refilling your essence. So most of the time, events can really only help you, if not only hinder you for a very short time. The Grim Reaper is your merchant, and he trades in souls. Here you'll be able to choose from 3 different relics, a set of 3 skills for all 3 of your characters, as well as the skill enhancement option, in which you can leave Grim with one of your skills and he will return it to you the next time he sees you with a higher level of rarity. You can also consult the map from here before you do this so that you can see when your next encounter with Grim will be. And again, if the game doesn't give you the path that you want or puts a negative status effect in your way or whatever, open a demonic portal and you make your own path. You are the devil after all. I really think this cheating mechanic is brilliant. We have all been burned by RNGesus way too many times. This makes it feel a little bit more fair to the player, in my opinion. That said, its power isn't limitless and requires sacrifice of your own essence to use. This to me keeps it feeling balanced and keeps me from relying on the devil's abilities a bit too much. I really like how Rogue Lords has implemented this mechanic. I've seen a few reviews for this game that say it's just too difficult. And while I do think the game is very challenging and has a steep learning curve, the game does offer 2 difficulty modes: Apprentice and Normal. Let me tell you, Apprentice is much easier. If you find yourself getting frustrated, switch it to Apprentice mode. Get through the book you're stuck on, unlock your new characters, and try something different. The best part is, the game lets you switch back to normal at the start of a new book on the same save. So don't let your pride get in the way, switch it to easy mode, there is no shame. I am absolutely loving everything about this game so far, and I cannot recommend it enough, especially if you're someone that enjoys dark fantasy stories and a chance to play the villain. When I first saw Rogue Lords, I was blown away by the art style and how flashy and smooth the combat animations are. But at the time, I thought I just have too many roguelikes already and I don't need another one. But man, was I wrong. This game is so different from all the other roguelikes I've played in the past. This is probably my favorite single-player roguelike game that I have found so far. I can't wait to keep playing and unlocking new characters, and I really recommend you check this one out.